Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video, and I've done a video like this before, and it's kind of interesting and fun to do another one because you don't know what you don't know. So, sometimes you go in search of finding the answers to your questions as opposed to assumptions. And a lot of the assumptions are understandable. So I'm going to touch on the music of business because I've been a professional musician since I was in my 20s, a sound engineer, producer, songwriter, you name it, I've done it. And I mention this not to brag, it's just to give you my credentials as far as when it comes to the music business, I know a little bit about it because I've been involved in it for 30 some years. So I thought I would share some of my, I guess, knowledge because I just recently posted a video entitled "Do Not Cover These Artist Songs on YouTube because if so, you're going to get flagged." Meaning that if you decide, I'm going to teach you guys how to play some Prince stuff with Prince original music in the background, they shut you down quick. The Prince people shut you down quicker than anybody. You get emails from attorneys. Then they force YouTube to jump on you and pounce on you and put a strike on your account. When you just only want to do is just show people how to play these great songs. You're not making any money doing this. Any copyrighted stuff that I do, I don't see a dime of money, and I'm not here for that. I'm just here to show you guys some chords. But I respect the fact that the record company and sometimes the artists decide that they don't want their music distributed in that manner. I totally understand that. I totally respect it. I don't have an issue with it. So, sometimes I get comments about comments that people don't understand how the business of music works because a person just sent me a comment regarding that video saying that it's a shame that the artists won't allow you to do their covers because there's some artists that are real cover friendly. They don't mind you doing it. Here's the problem. It's not the artist. Look at the artist in these terms. Just like you go to work every day, you got a boss. Unless you're a manager in upper management, you don't make business decisions for the company. You just come in, they tell you what to do, your bosses, and then you get paid and you go home. And that's basically the same thing with most artists. They're just employees. They don't own the rights to these songs. They don't have any say-so when it comes to those type of copyright issues because they're just employees. But some people don't know that. They think that the artist is controlling everything and this is how it's going to be done. No, the artist is just a simple employee. There are exceptions like the late Prince and like the Eagles. When you become that successful and carry that much clout or juice, as they say, yeah, you can make those type of decisions with the record company. But for the most part, the record company makes those decisions as far as, the copyright issues. The artist got nothing to do with it, And I was going to really go into this long thing about the music business, but I'm not going to do that because that'll take about 20, 30 minutes. But the only thing I can really say is you don't know what you don't know, and it's not the artist, it's the record companies. Again, with the exception of Prince and some other people, because I am going to touch on the Prince thing because I went through a period of letting people know how things really are or were, and some people got upset because they and visualized it this way when it's actually this way. And what I mean by that is when Prince went on that tangent and putting slave on his cheek, and the first thing I pose the question is, how many millionaire slaves do you know? None, And here's the deal with the Prince thing, because I got to share this with you guys because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know, you assuming this. Prince, when he was 17, got his record deal. By the time he's about 18, he was completed the first album. Prince, to this day, 2018, got one of the best lucrative record deals in record history. So it ain't like a good example of the Supremes. One of them died on welfare when their product made millions and millions of dollars. And you ask yourself, how did that happen? Because Berry Gordy screwed them. So Prince didn't get screwed. Prince got an extremely good deal, and apparently that wasn't enough for him, because the whole thing about bitching about, trying to get the rights to your sons, because this is how it works. You got talent. You go to a record company to help you finance your product because you're broke. Because if you weren't broke, you could do all that by yourself and say, screw the record companies. I'm going to do all this by myself and reap all the benefits. It doesn't work that way. You come in with your pockets turned inside out and got a dam to rub two dams together. And the record company say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You do got talent. We got the money to help finance you. So the deal is going to be this: we finance you, and we get a proceeds from the profit, and we're going to get the majority of the proceeds because we're the one who put all this money in. Because they can finance your album because it takes a lot of money to go into the studio with professional musicians, not that basement studio thing. We're talking about state-of-the-art professional recording studio, and they get state-of-the-art, or should I say world-class musicians to play on your stuff. They got to get paid. The studio people got to get paid to book the time, and they got to get paid. That could be sometimes millions of dollars before you even bring them or get them a return on their money. So they didn't already put up all this money up front for you. And guess what? If your album sucks and it tanks and nobody buys it, they had all that money. Most people don't realize how it works. So it ain't an issue of the record company screwing them, because if they felt that way, go finance your own album. Don't show up at my company asking to get a record deal. Go finance your own album, because it takes a lot of money to put together the product. It takes even more money to market the product, because that's the thing. You can have the best product in the world if nobody knows nothing about it. What's the point? So they have a lot at stake, and they're the ones that are taking the risk, because if it flops from their end, or should I say from their perspective, they lose millions of dollars. If it flops on your end, oh, well, I just spent some time putting together the product, but it didn't cost me any money to put together the product, just a little bit of my time. So it's not a big deal. But most of us don't realize that they're not in the music business and how it works. Because, again, record companies put up a lot of money. Music videos, they can cost up to $1 million now. So, and guess who pays for that? The record company. And then once this product has been put together and they marketing it, when it starts to sell, they get a percentage. But first, before you see any money, because all that money is considered kind of a loan towards the finished product. All that money spent on recording, all that money they spent on marketing, all that money got to be recouped for the record company. So when that record starts to sell, the first people to start to see that money is the record company recouping their losses, as far as we spent $2 million here as far as the whole product. And then after that's been paid off, then whatever starts to come in, you get a percentage of that, and they still get a percentage of that too. But there are a lot of people that don't understand that because they're not musicians and never been in the business. So sometimes I will post videos to say, Morris, man, thanks for letting me know that, because I didn't know. I didn't know. But, there you have it. That's how it works. Now, if you're one of them people that say, I don't want to deal with no record executive heads and the politics behind me, I'm going to finance my own. If you could do that, God bless you. That's wonderful. If you can go in and put together an album yourself and market it yourself, because there's some musicians that have been pretty successful at that. Master P. Master P basically did everything by himself. He got all his publishing, all his rights to his product, because again, as an artist, the standard deal is the songs that you release are the rights and the ownership of the record company, not the artist, unless you worked out a deal with the record company. And in most cases, that is not a standard deal by no means. The record company is not giving you all this stuff up front. It's either sometimes they will give you a percentage, or sometimes they say, hey, this is a standard contract. If you don't want it, go next door. See if you can get a record deal with those guys and see if they're going to spend $2 million on you up front to produce your product and then get it out there. But, that whole Prince thing was just ridiculous, because, again, Prince got the best record deal in history to this day. 30, 40 years later, still better than most of us. And then, he had a lot of creative freedom. That was the first time that they let an 18 or 17-year-old produce his first album, because normally that never ever happens. Normally what happens is someone produces your first album, it's a success, and then now you got a little clout and juice to haggle with the record company, say, hey, I want to produce my sophomore album, I can do this, and they most likely let you do it, but they never ever let you do it the first time out, never. So that whole thing with Prince tripping, he was just tripping, unfortunately, and we all are guilty of this. We sometimes give people too much that they don't should have or don't deserve, and then when you shut it down and realize you the one that's being the fool and giving too much, and you shut it down, now they feel a sense of entitlement. Hey, where's the rest of this, and where's my, so they created that monster. The record company created that monster. But I just find it, I guess, appalling and insulting, because this is really ridiculous. As you guys know, you can't touch Prince stuff on YouTube. If you do it less than a day, it's coming down and you got a strike on your account. And I'm like, again, okay, I can respect that, even though we are the ones that help make you who you are, but so now we can celebrate your music and actually help promote it for you for free. But I can respect it. I'm not tripping. But this is what I'm tripping on. That whole Prince thing where, again, you cannot do any of his stuff. You can't even do this, because I can understand, you playing along with the original music in the background, showing chords. You can't even do this. You don't have the original music. You just showing on YouTube just the chords. No copyrighted music in the background, just you and your guitar. You still get flagged. And then you can actually beat that, because technically you're not violating, but you will get flagged first. And now you got to go through the process of getting unflagged and sending emails and back and forth to get this mess cleared up, because I guess they call it algorithms, where it's a computer thing that searches for names, and when they hit names and it flags it, sometimes they just flag you without even watching the video. I've had that, they just, based on the title, they got me, and then I had to go in and get this straightened out. But here's the thing that really insulted my intelligence. Okay, Prince, we understand you don't want your stuff being played or covered, fine. But then, in the same breath, when the last album was released before he passed away, he was promoting it on YouTube. I'm like, let me get this straight. The same dude that flagged me now want me to buy his shit, and he's promoting it on a channel that I can't play his shit. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm gonna end it on that note. Till next time, take care, and thanks for watching.